welcome to Knit Grit. Today we're going to go over how to make this really cute Pokéball phone case. It's customizable to whatever kind of phone that you have. It's nice, it's snug. This one's fitting an iPhone 4 right now? Yeah, it's a iPhone 4. This one's fitting an iPhone 4 right now, and you could easily put a little chain tab over here in case you wanted to be able to close it with a little button, but I choose to keep it open because it is nice and snug in there. Alright guys, let's get started. For this project you're going to need a glue gun. You don't need a high temperature one like this one, but you do need a fairly simple glue gun. You're going to need a darning needle, a crochet hook. I'm using a size J in the Susan Bates collection, as well as some scissors, and most importantly you're going to need some red yarn and some white yarn. I'm also using Vanna's Choice. I do recommend using the same brand when it comes to yarn. You could easily use Red Heart for this project. It's super simple and it won't change how it looks. I just personally prefer Vanna's Choice. Starting out, you're going to want to chain the length of your phone. So whatever phone you have, you're going to want to chain until you've reached the length of your phone. I'm using my Android Max as a reference. You can easily use an iPhone or really any other kind of smartphone or otherwise. I'm just going to chain until I get to the width of my smartphone. So now I have chains that go through the width of my phone, and for the Android Max that's 12 chains. What we're going to want to do next is, for this, we're going to want to start crocheting, single crocheting into the chains until we reach the end here. When we get to the end here, we're going to want to put 3 single crochets within this first chain, and then we're going to turn and do single crochets all the way back to the beginning again. I'll show you in a moment. So we have crocheted all the way to our last. We're going to put 3 single crochets within this first chain here. 1, 2, 3. Now, what I mean by switching sides, like flipping sides, is we're going to keep and crochet our tail as if it's a part of the single crochets here, but we're going to go inside those chains once more, but just through this side. So we've crocheted across again, and we're back to where we started over here, and we crocheted with our tail inside, so if you want to snip that, you can just cut that and it's fine. What we're going to want to do next is we're going to go into that stitch, and we're going to put 3 single crochets within that stitch as well, so that each side matches. Okay, so that is your first round. It goes along the bottom there, and what you're going to want to do next is you're going to want to single crochet all the way around and keep going until you've reached the halfway point on your phone. So this is very phone specific. I'll let you know how many rounds it took to get me to halfway in case you're working with an Android Max. But if you have like an iPhone or something else, this will just be a rough guesstimation. So just keep crocheting around as many rounds as it takes to get you to the halfway point here. And I will see you then. Now that you've finished with your 9 rounds of the white, you're going to want to do 9 rounds of the red until you get to just above the top of the phone. It doesn't have to be 9 rounds. For the iPhone, it is going to be 9 rounds. You can also tell that I changed phones. This is now an iPhone instead of an Android Max. I finished that one. That one took me 10 rounds to do on either side, so I had 10 rounds of white and 10 rounds of red for my Android with 12 chains. And with this one, I'm doing 9, and I'm assuming it's going to be 9 on top is here as well. And that's with 11 stitches chained on. Alright, so let's go ahead and finish this at the top, and we'll get to our next step. When you reach the end of your red rows, it should look something like this. You've got maybe a little more white than your red, but that will be covered up when you put the band in the center there. So we're going to work on our magical ring button next. So next up we're making a magical ring. We're using 6 stitches within, and we're just going to slip stitch into our first stitch there. Get rid of our tail. We're going to slip stitch in, and now we have what we need, and that is basically it. We're just going to sew on our tails there, and then once we sew on our tails, we're going to glue this onto our felt piece on the band, and I'll show you how to do that next. So next up, we're going to take our felt and we're going to measure out a piece that goes all the way around like this, and they touch right there. So we'll cut where it meets, and then also we're going to make it so that it's about that wide. So that's about 2/3 of an inch wide, and then we're also going to cut out a piece of felt that is a little bit larger than this magical ring here. So we're going to make a little square and then cut it into a circle so that it fits just underneath this little magical ring here. Also, keep in mind that it makes it a lot easier for this process when your phone is actually inside of your phone case. It makes it a lot easier so that it actually translates into what it will be when the phone case is in there, so that if you did it without the phone in there, it would be limp and it would kind of go squished if you go like that. But if you have your phone in there, it would actually, that's as wide as it's gonna be pushed. So it would make it it would translate into not being weird. And once you're done gluing, then you are all done. You have a completed Pokéball phone case. And this one was made to fit an iPhone, but you can really get it to fit any phone. So if you liked this tutorial, be sure to check out our other tutorials. One of them we just came out with, some polyfill on there. The other one that we just came out with is this really cute Pokéball, amigurumi Pokéball. And if you like anything like that, be sure to stay tuned for our just geeky tutorials playlist that we have. Be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. We are posting stuff every week, trying to come up with new and exciting things. Alright, until next time, guys!